G'day, hi, and welcome. All right, so I am at the Cafe 1870. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. This is the latest I've stayed out in such a long time. Kind of chilly right now. Gotta let my little hot rod here warm up. I know you guys can't see me, but that's okay. What a fantastic night. That's the only thing I can say about tonight is just how great it was. It was the talent. Oh my God, this place is so talented. It's unbelievably how talented everybody is here. Really, well, I'm speechless. Like the styles, my cheeks are hurting from smiling so much. I got you can tell it's a different time of the year. I can't see what I'm doing here. It's everything almost fogged up, and gotta let everything kind of warm up a bit. Oh. That was a really good night, I gotta say. Gotta clear my side windows off. I don't think that did much. Well, I only need to see out the front anyway. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, how did it go? What kind of night did this turn into? What did the the owner of the bar? Well, it was the lady. It was she looks familiar. I know her face from somewhere, but I'm sure we crossed paths before. But long story short, basically, I'm gonna give it a second here. I guess I can get going. I'm just going to roll down my window so I can see out the... I don't want to run over anybody. Come on. I can see that part. Okay, that's good. I might have to honk at somebody here, so... It's about to get very gratuitous. All right. Oh no! No. Hang on a second here. I'll get the video going. Okay, get my windows up. Kind of cool. Darn, I didn't get to see the host before, or the sound lady before I went there. That's too bad, because nice lady. She didn't go up and play though. It's too bad, but the talent tonight. Okay, so anyway, what happened? Did I get the gig? That's probably what you're going to ask. Ooh, that could have been bad there. Who puts a sign in the middle of the road? The short answer is yes, I got the gig. The question is when. They're pretty booked up, but there could be something that might pop up between now and then. You know, people cancel out. Things happen. Basically the lady's like, she's like, yeah, no. She goes, she's staying a little later. I guess, you know, being a business owner, they stay or whatever. And she's like, okay, so I went up as early as I can. Intergalactic Space Hippie was here tonight again. He actually played a song about how he got hooked on LSD when he was younger. It was priceless. I should have recorded more of it, but it's just like, this guy is like, I mean, he's got you know, problems and stuff like that. Like, he's a good guy. It's just, you know, he's way out there, like way out. Even if he didn't have head trauma or whatever, he would still be way out there. Like, I don't think there's anything that can fix somebody like that other than that. But he was thinking about his LSD song. It was pretty comical. I enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it. He kept it under 15 minutes tonight. He was counting off his stopwatch while he was singing. It was pretty cool. But, you know, the guy goes up and he has fun. So anyway, right after him, I was the number 2, because I didn't want the poor lady to have to stay any later. But mind you, she probably stayed business owners, I mean, it's what they do for a living, so if they get home a little bit later, they don't care, right? But the thing is, I went up, I omitted one little thing, and I did something, because every time I go, okay, somebody says, oh, somebody's going to do interpretive dance one time when they get up there. Nobody's done it, so I did like a bullshit interpretive dance thing. Some people found it funny, some people didn't. You gotta warm up the crowd, right? But yeah, I am officially the first guy to do interpretive dance there. Basically, I mimicked opening up a case of beer and chugging it. I don't know if they got it or not. I think some did. It was a lot of fun. But the thing is that I'm trying to figure out where to put my heat here. Hang on, sorry. Oh, there we go. This dash panel doesn't light up. Sorry if a big silence here, but the dash panel doesn't light up, so you don't know, what your heat settings are. Like, they got lights everywhere else, but not where on the heater where you can see. I guess 1999 technology. Will I make the light? Will I make the light? Will I make the light? I don't want to rush the light here because the cop shop is like right beside here, so I gotta kind of keep the speed limit. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to draw attention to myself. Here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So the owner, she's out there in the audience. I did the Two Princes song. Everybody seemed to like it. There was a few people kind of semi-humming along with it. Nobody danced, but it was, I mean, the first guy, I'm like the second musician, up if you count Intergalactic Space Hippie as a musician. He is. I mean, he's got one kick-ass Les Paul there, and he had a nice Gretsch last week. So I went up. I did a couple of tunes. I did I thought, okay, we'll see if this is kind of like more of a dancing tune. It went over well. Like again, I've never lucked out with the Two Princes song. That one always people like it. Then I went into the Calling song. I was going to do Any Way You Want It by Journey, and I thought, well, that's a good happy-go-lucky one. But I'm like, no, I'm going to hit a ballad out there. Why? Because you got to kind of soften it as well when you're trying just to show dynamic and range. Not that I got a lot of dynamic and range. Oh man, now that's too hot in here. Oh crap. When the heater works in this thing, it really, really, really works. I'll just put it on there. I'm going to slow it down a bit. There we go, I'll do it that way. But anyway, long story short, I did that song, then I went in to Take a Picture by Filter. They did a little bit of a drop D thing. I kind of shortened the song. I didn't do the whole thing because I didn't want to go too far over. And I did Coming of Age by Damn Yankees. No, I did Coming of Age by Damn Yankees, then I did the Filter song. And I heard a little bit of a sing-along. The sound lady was singing along, and a few other people were singing along with the Filter song, so they actually knew it. And I throw in a little bit of a medley in there, just to kind of showboat a bit. And people like it when I do that showboat, dramatic showboat stuff. I don't go really crazy with it, but I didn't lose it too much. I kind of tried to discipline myself a bit tonight so I didn't go too overboard with it. Lost it a bit, but I think I did okay tonight for sure. Really wanted to concentrate on just getting everything, good, like nice and tight. Fairly tight. I think I might have kind of, got a little sloppy in some spots, but I mean, again, the acts that I got to follow here, like these people are just so tight. But mind you, there's a difference too, because these people have probably played these songs together a million times. Greg did show up, the sound man did show up tonight, and people kept pulling him up on stage. But again, he knows their songs and he does their songs with them. And he had a nice jazz box guitar tonight. But yeah, it's like brilliant sound. I'd love to be able to have enough battery just to record the entire show. The talent is just, it's spectacular. It's the only thing I can really say is it's spectacular. The other thing I would say is, yeah, the owner, she was impressed. She was like, oh no, she goes, the crowd really likes what you do. Like everybody's, oh yeah, that guy's good, you know. So maybe I don't come off as good on the GoPro, but you got to understand when you record things live, and I'm not making excuses or anything like that. It's just you lose out on, like, on the highs and lows sometimes. So you don't get, like I say, music is meant to be experienced live, not on tape cassettes, not on YouTube videos and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, if you can't be there, sure, but if you can be there, because it's just the energy. You feel the music. It's music is meant to be felt. You know what I mean? And yeah, it really worked out really nice tonight. There was a lovely young lady. Oh my God, I was like, have my babies. She was so cute. Great singer. I got one song for her, but they were still working through the sound, so the mic squealed on her a few times. But she did a Leonard Cohen song and then I think a Soundgarden song, and it was like, whoa, wow, you know. We'll just say she has everything going for her. Like great voice. The type of girl that I would love to be able to do a duet with someday. The other one, again, she didn't go up tonight. That was the sound lady. I think her name's Julie. But anyway, I really wanted to get her playing, but I asked her if she was going to go up. She says, no, she goes, my vocals are a little bit, they're not there tonight, so she didn't want to do it. That's too bad, because you should hear this girl play. Like, she's pretty spectacular to listen to play, you know. But yeah, everybody liked it. The Damn Yankee song actually went over better than I thought. People were getting into it, you know. It wasn't a song that really, like, oh my God, everybody was woo like that. It wasn't a, you know, grab the audience and you know, whack them over the head with it kind of song, but it was pretty good, you know. The host tonight, he was like, he was here a couple of weeks. It was the guy and the girl that did that East Coast sound, that Métis kind of East Coast sound. It was him, and very, very good player. Beautiful sounding stuff. Great sounding guitar, great finger picking, all that stuff. Very mellow, whatever. And he pulled up a fiddler. I've seen her play a few times, but I always end up leaving. So it was nice to catch her playing, and you're gonna love their playing. It's just, yeah. So I was talking to her for a bit. We were talking about violins, and I was telling her what I got. Maybe if she's there next week. She's a very good fiddler. What I'll do is I'll do a little, just introduce my 1713 Stradivari, do a funny little thing with it, and then maybe if she wants, I'd like to hear somebody else play it, just to see what kind of sound she pull on. But I know fiddlers are kind of funny. Like I'll play my fiddle, but I'm not going to play anybody else's. And a lot of times they won't touch it. You know what I mean? It's not their bow, not their fiddle. But yeah, we had a good conversation. That was pretty cool. The harmonica guy was there. I got to chat with him just briefly. He just crossed paths with people. There was one guy there. He had a jam band. What is it called? It's basically you can record yourself. It's a looper pedal, but like this is like the full pedal board looper pedal. It does everything. Yeah, I forget the name. It's the Boss one. It's probably the best one on the market that you can get. Yeah, this guy's a local, and he basically plays every Sunday night. And the owner was saying, you should come in Sunday night. He goes, you play kind of the same kind of energy that this guy plays, and everybody likes him and stuff like that. But this guy, he has his act together. Played almost all originals. I'm gonna have to start bringing in some originals, you know, because it's like people really take well to it. It's very rare you get a bar that wants to do that. But I had a good conversation with Leah, the owner, and she was like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "I don't know what night we'll have for you, but you know they're pretty much solid right through till January, and then you know, but people could back out or whatever. So I'm going to send her a little bit more information via internet and stuff like that. But it was, you know, we had a good like 20-minute conversation after I got off stage, and she was she really liked what I did, stuff like that. So, and I said, you know, like whatever. They kind of do everything by ear there, pardon the pun, but it's kind of like, you know, you know, you could start at 9 o'clock and be done at 11. You know what I mean? Or you could be there till 1 in the morning. Tonight, it's like it's almost 1:30 in the morning right now. Now, because my dad's not home, that's why I stayed out so late. I'm so happy I was able to. Again, just to see all that talent there. And different types of music stuff too. You know, it's like there's some guy who had like this kind of weird homemade 3-string guitar thing going on. He was pretty fascinating to watch. It was pretty cool stuff. You know, pretty cool stuff. A little bit of everything. I try to get at least one song from everybody that plays. I could get more, but what I'm worried about is like I'll get like a whole bunch of songs from one person, and then somebody else will get up there and it'll be like totally spectacular, and you just won't be able to you know, you run out of battery, but you only get about an hour on the GoPro, right? So you got to use your time kind of wisely. Mind you, you know, doing a 15-minute set, that's 4 people, right? So you take the first song, because you don't know what they're going to be playing, but you take the first song from each person. That's, you know, at least you get a little bit of a different showcase out there. Yeah, just really good stuff tonight. Really good stuff. Like, smile on my face. My jaw is sore from smiling so hard. Yeah, it was really good. It was just a really, 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 really good night. Really enjoyed it. Nice people. Ken was there, the old guy. He was there this time. He was there last week too. The week before he wasn't. So I guess this is my 6th week there. So the thing is am I going to keep going to these jam nights until I do the gig? Yeah, I'll go as much as I can. But at least, like right now, I got my foot in the door. And the way they do it there is you play for the door. I don't know how much they charge at the door. I'm thinking like $2, you know, but maybe they charge 10 at the door, and you get whatever you get at the door. And like she said, like it's you never know what you're going to get. You can get a Saturday night with 1,000 people walking through the club the entire night. Well, maybe not that many, but you probably get like, you know, maybe 50, 60, 70 people throughout the night, or you get 15. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what you're going to get, but 10 people pays my gas. you know what I mean? So, you know, if that's the worst you're going to do. And the other thing they do too, and again, I'm going to have to kind of get my act together, is she goes, if you got posters or whatever, she goes, we promote the heck out of it on the website, but you could, you know, that's one nice thing about being booked so far in advance, that you can basically advertise it for 6 months. But the nice thing is, now, I'm not going to make any money technically on this gig, even if I made $1,000 in the night, which I mean, I'm hoping for 100, maybe 120. If I can get 60 people out there at $2 a piece, that'd be great. If they go $5 a piece, okay, maybe you don't need as many people. But I'm afraid of charging that much for my first time out. But that said, if people, oh, hey, that's that guy that shows up at the jam nights, he's really good. Maybe, you know, I'm hoping that's what they're thinking. That, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm going to come out and see him because I want to see what else he's got, you know. And of course, again, I'm missing my mandolin now because the other things I could pull out of it. The electric violin's going to come out at a jam night. I'm going to cut my teeth on that stuff in the jam night. Next week, if I bring a violin out, depending on the weather too, if it's really cold, I won't do it because, like I was asking the lady tonight there that was playing the fiddle, I said, you know, that's pretty tough to keep those things tuned, especially in this kind of, you know, this kind of climate, you know, and stuff like that. She goes, oh yeah, she had a hard time getting it into tune. And because of, you know, like, I mean, this girl's been playing fiddle, I think she said, since she could walk, right? So yeah, she knows how to tune a fiddle and a finicky fiddle, whatever. I told her about what I got, you know, all that type of stuff, and you know, had a nice little conversation. But she was really impressed with what I played. She was like, oh, wow, she goes, you know, it was really nice stuff you did there. And I'm like, well, yeah, but what you did was spectacular. But what it is I did something different from her. You know what I mean? That's what stands out, is I'm the odd man out. And then the guy after me does this weird homemade 3-string guitar thing that just, you know, with all kinds of effect pedals, and the harmonica guy got up there, and I just like, wow, that was pretty cool. You know, like it's nice because not only is it new, but it's It's interesting because it's something you haven't heard before, you know what I mean? Just passing a tractor trailer there. Again, hats off to all you truckers out there. Hey, I'm going home from having a fun night. Those guys are still working, you know what I mean? Yeah, so hats off to the truckers tonight. But the last lady that went up tonight, this lady sings in the audience. If she likes the song you're playing, she'll say, and she has this spectacular voice. Very jazzy, very, think like New York, R&B, more jazz than you could possibly shake a stick at. I wouldn't say she's like 50s beatniks now. No, like this woman, like very like a female Frank Sinatra kind of stuff. Like I don't want to call it parlor music because I don't know if that's the right term for it. I'm really trying to figure out what category. Like I know it's jazz. I know it's mixed with R&B. It's almost flamenco-y. Like it's something, and I'm not saying this to be insulting, but it's something that you would hear in an elevator. That kind of R&B, jazzy. It's not really blues. It's jazz, like New York soul jazz stuff, and it's just spectacular to hear. Very powerful voices, very, and then of course the guy after, or just before her, well, he stayed up on the stage. This guy's a local, he plays every Sunday, but this guy had a voice, my God, he was good. I wish I could have stayed and talked to them a little bit more, but I think it was kind of rude of me to not go and say bye to the sound lady, because I don't like to just cut out and run and not talk to people. You know what I mean? I find that rude, but I at least waved at her anyway. I was gonna, if she would have still been outside, I would have hit the horn. Just let her know that I was, thanks for doing what you did. It was a really good night. Easy on the eyes too. That always helps too, right? But yeah, it's like I don't know what else I could say. Like, I mean, I get up there and I'm playing fairly well, and I know my job. I play fairly well, and I do pretty good. But the professionals, I mean, these people are reading sheet music as they're playing. I mean, that's the kind of level I'm talking about here. Like, that is just, where do you put that? You know what I mean? Like, where do you categorize that? Where do you, what level is that? You know what I mean? Like, that is a level that I'm not there. I'll be honest with you. I can't sight read like that, like these people. Now, mind you, again, it's probably their 50th time doing the song, but they're not doing the song from memory. They're sight reading it. Very impressive. I find, now, mind you, there is a little bit of a scam when it comes to musicians that once you know what key you're in, you can kind of, especially if it's jazz, you can kind of make it up as you go. As long as you know where the chord changes are, you can just take it all over the place. And I've talked about this before with jazz musicians, stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not at the level Greg is at. This guy's a fantastic player. He's, I guess you'd say a cross between a jazz player, an R&B player, and definitely a blues player for sure. Doing all those strange augmented chords, and not really going crazy with the arpeggios, but very jazzy-ish stuff for sure. And what I like about it is that the guitar he had out tonight was a Yamaha jazz box. I don't know what model it was, but what a beautiful tone out of it. Nice and pingy. I had a jazz box too. I'm kind of missing that little Ibanez jazz box. You sell guitars a bunch of years back, and you miss them. It's like, oh, that would have fit so nicely there. Like that would be such a great guitar to bring out. You know what I mean? But I remember playing my jazz box, my AL, I got the AL10, but my Ibanez jazz core. Like I played it, and I did okay with it, but it just never, I guess I didn't have it in the right setting to really get, out of it what I could have got out of it. Mind you, it was a beautiful recording guitar. It was really beautiful. But it didn't have that live feel to it that, that this thing had. This thing was just a really fantastic sounding guitar. There's just no other way to put it. It's just fantastic sounding. Just the musicianship just blows me away. And of course, we had an accordion. The accordion guy was the host tonight. He played some Newfie tunes and some reels and jigs and stuff like that. And again, with the fiddle, with the guitar, with the with that his accordion. Now, mind you, he fixes these things. It's pretty interesting. He says he hasn't built one yet, but it's coming. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, no, that's really cool. But he was like 2 weeks ago. He goes, dude, you're the dude that did the Meatloaf song. I said, yeah. I said it was a little heavy for that night, but when I did the Bat Out of Hell, he says, oh man, he says, no, that was awesome. But again, it's because it's not something he's used to hearing. So you do get that from time to time where you get people, they show up at these jam nights and they're like, well, they play, like, for example, that jazz bass player last week was probably a metalhead, just playing jazz. He's versatile to get away with actually playing real jazz on a 6-string bass, but he probably plays a 5-string and plays Slipknot and stuff like that Monday to Wednesday, you know what I mean? Wednesday to Thursday, Wednesday to Sunday, you know what I mean? But Monday to Wednesday he plays the 6-string and, doing jazz and stuff. You never know. You just don't know who's in the audience, but more importantly, you just don't know who's going to go up on stage. But the girl that sang there, oh wow, she really had a nice voice. If I get to know her, I'm going to see if I can do, because I always wanted to do a duet. I never got the chance to do it because I never found a woman that could sing well enough. Not that they're not out there, but I just never knew anybody. Well, I did, but by the time this song came out, they were nowhere to be seen. But the Sheryl Crow Kid Rock song there, I think it's Take a Picture, whatever, or Picture. I mean, I did Take a Picture Tonight. That's a Fuel song, or not a Fuel song, but what's the name of the band that does that? Not Fuel. I completely drawn a blank because the sound lady, she's like, well, what's that song? Who sings that song? Filter. Is it Filter? Is it Fuel that sings it? I don't remember because there was 2 bands I know. High and Dry, I think, was Filter or Fuel, and Take a Picture was Filter. So Fuel, Filter, right? It's kind of funny. That's a song that I could probably bring out. That song, High and Dry. There's quite a few High and Dry songs. Def Leppard does a High and Dry song. Fuel does a High and Dry song, and Brighton Rock does a High and Dry song. That song would be really cool. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. Do I stick to the 90s metal stuff and keep doing acoustic versions of that? I don't know. The Damn Yankees was fun to play tonight. It really was. I liked it. Again, there's people from all, like, there's probably from 18-year-old right up to 65, or 18 to 80. You know what I mean? Like, there's everybody in that bar. So the good news about that is no matter what song or genre you play, you're bound to get somebody who likes it. But the goal is to get the majority. And the thing is that what I get in there, it's like, because I'm the odd man out, I don't know how the crowd's receiving it. And like I say, musicians tend to be a quiet crowd unless it's something really spectacular, And then but some guy came up and high-fived me on the Take a Picture song or whatever song it was, Again, so if I got the whole night to myself, like I was telling the owner, I said I can mold the song. Like I got like a repertoire of about 1,000 songs. So if the night requires something quieter, I can play quieter. If I go, so I don't really have a set list. Strangely enough, tonight I almost stuck to my set list. Almost. I was going to do Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee as a bit of a joke, but I ended up doing interpretive dance as a joke, and I thought it was funny. I got a few boos like, oh, that's not interpretive dance, dude. But technically, it counts. I am the first one in that bar to do interpretive dance, and I'm going to let everybody know that for the end of time. So when somebody comes up and say, I did interpretive dance and I'm the first one, no. Reg was the first one. That's my title. I'm wearing that belt, and I'm wearing it with honor. My interpretive dance was a guy ripping open a case of beer, chugging it down, and then everything else after that was he going to hurl or not? it was all open to interpretation. So yeah, booyah, that's mine. I don't think anybody found it as funny as I did. But it doesn't really matter. It's what's done is done. What's done is done. I'm a musician, not a dancer. So. Anyway, speaking of, I got a little bit of eyes from a lady tonight there wanting me to go up and dance, but I didn't. I should have. My bad. But it's not like I'm not going to see this woman again anyway. So I was like, okay, well, it's like, yeah. Again, easy on the eyes. I like it. God, I was talking to her most of the night anyway, so okay, no problem. We'll see each other again. It's just I kind of missed the cue, you know what I mean? It's like by the time I caught on to it, it was like, oh well, the other guy jumped in. It's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna go up there now. It's like, yeah, you got to watch for those things. Again, you can be a rusty musician. You can also be rusty at signals too. But the songs were really good tonight. Everything was really good tonight. I really enjoyed it. What a great night. Fun little town, it really is. They really got a gem of a spot there where the stars just to line up right there where you get just the right amount of people that want to do that. Something that the owner and I were talking about, I said, a lot of places don't do what you do, and they don't realize that's what brings out the crowd, you know what I mean? And she goes, oh, I know. In fact, she used to work at Barrymore's, and I told her, yeah, I used to play at Barrymore's. And she goes, oh, yeah. I said, do you remember a guy named Gord with the Mohawk? She goes, yeah. I said, that's the last time I played there, so that's like 20-some-odd years ago. She goes, oh, yeah. She goes, I used to work there. So, oh, okay. Then she goes, I worked there, and then I opened up here. That's probably where I met her before. Whatever, but that was, kind of, they weren't really doing as many live acts at that, 10 years ago, but 15 years ago they were, that was a fun place. That was huge playing there. I mentioned some other places, because she asked, well, where have you played? Kind of, it's like a job interview, and so I'm like, well, the last place I played was, probably about, it might be almost 10 years ago now, come to think of it. I can't remember, it was 2009 that I played, so 9 years ago maybe. I can't remember, maybe it was 2010, 8, when the little bars that were open in my town. It might have been 2011. Yeah, that's the last time I played live, like a full gig, 3 hour. And I told her, if you want a 3 hour night, a 2 hour night, I don't really care. Like it's whatever they require, right? I mean, I'd love to start at 9 and be done by 11. That would be cool. 2 hour night, I'm in. I won't even take a break, Yeah, so we'll see where it goes, but my foot's in the door. It's just setting the date. It's just, okay, set the date. So that's where it starts. Now, that's a long way off. That means I got to find another place to play in between now and then. Why? Because I'm kind of broke. I mean, who's kidding? Who am I kidding? I'm playing with very old strings on that guitar. You know what I mean? I need to get some new strings on that guitar. I need to be able to fund my habit here. It's really tricky. It's really tricky. I kind of splurged a little tonight. I had 4 drinks tonight. I cleared them out of Coca-Cola, and I had a 7-Up. Yeah, the rebel that I am. So I spent nearly $10 today. Well, maybe 12, plus the gas. So you're looking at a $30 night. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of money for me nowadays. I know to those who haven't lost 95% of their income, you don't know what I'm talking about. But those who have, you know what I mean, where $2 starts becoming expensive. But everything's a gamble. You know what I mean? Like everything's a gamble. But the nice thing now is I can let loose a little bit more and experiment a little bit more with the jam nights. But the nice thing is I'm also, when I'm doing these jam nights, I like the jam nights are fun. But maybe I'll host one night. Maybe I'll make money there. Maybe I won't. But if somebody cancels out, because she's like, well, at least you're close by. Like, close by as in I'm 45 miles away, about 60 kilometers. Yeah, I'm close by in that sense that I'm closer. Well, town is actually closer. But the next stop is, if I can get my money to go up a bit, is start booking things in town. But I really want to do an entire show. So, we're going into October, November, December. That's like 3 months to book a show somewhere. But even if this is not the first show, I was kind of hoping that it'd be like, maybe next month. But you never know. Somebody could cancel out. And if somebody cancels out, she'll have my number. Hey, Reg, can you make it down for Saturday? Like everything's set up there. Like I don't have to bring anything other than my guitar and me. I might bring my own mic, just my own mic stand. I like my own mic stand because I find these mic stands just a little too tall. And comfort is a big thing about playing live. If you're not comfortable, you don't play well. It's just strange, You play in a certain chair, you sit in a certain angle, you have a certain microphone, you have a certain mic stand. All that little stuff makes a difference. Now, mind you, if you have more than 3 songs to work everything out, by the end of your 3rd song, you've got the sound mixed in, you've got everything all set up. That's what you don't get when you do the jam. You let it roll. The sound lady, again, she did good. She had my sound mixed well. It's not like she had to do a lot to get the sound to come in on the guitar anyway. I was just worried about my guitar being too high mid-range and cutting over me or whatever. But no, everything was good. If anything, the mids were a little bit on the low side. But that's okay. That's okay. I could live with that. I could hear everything coming back to me good. I could hear myself good. I can't wait to hear how it's going to come out on the GoPro. I know it's not going to be as good as, being there. But if you can sound good on a GoPro or on a cell phone or something like that, then it's that much better live. Just so you know. So, yeah, I think my cobwebs are getting pretty much worked out. Nervousness, stuff like that. I don't get nervous or anything like that. Tonight I was actually very relaxed on the stage. In the sense of I was really able to just concentrate on just play the best you can. Because tonight what I was trying to do is impress the owner, right? Because you never know, but I had pretty good suspicion that it'd be no problem, but you never know because I know the bar kind of up the road. That place I would not be able to play there. Why? They want country western. When they do get somebody, you got to bring everything. You got to bring all your own equipment. My other goal too is to make enough money so I can buy a good PA system so I can open up all these hosted bars. Now that said, the bar that is technically closest to me, well, I'm probably passing it now, but the next bar that's closest to me, up in Otter Lake, unfortunately closes Sunday for good. It's too bad. I always wanted to play at La Petite Bar. But you got to bring your own equipment, your own crowd. And it's one of those bars that they didn't really learn how to... don't get me wrong, I love the owner there. Her and her daughter, spectacular people. But they never really understood that you got to bring in the entertainment. Even if you got to pay a little, you got to bring in entertainment and again, the proof is that I'm telling people from experience of what I did. Like when I played the little bar and grill in my town, okay? The first time I played there, the lady ran out of beer that night. The second time I played there, she almost ran out of beer because the crowd was so going that, she wasn't used to having that many people in the bar. And, when that's a really good thing when you can run the bar out of their stock, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, this was a really small bar, smaller than where I'm playing even now. But what the thing was is that, she learned that, hey, when you bring in the people, or when you bring in the entertainment, the people go. So you could do darts. Darts night's always fun, but it only brings out a handful of locals. You get the odd people that are darts fanatics that travel from one place to the next. But darts doesn't last long. It's a 2-hour game at best. You know what I mean? Maybe you can get 3 hours out of it, but you're closing the bar early. You're closing the bar early, you're not making money. And if you're closing the bar early because you're not making money, you're not making money. But when you can stay open a little bit later, stay open till 2 in the morning, 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning, and I know... It's like a fire coat on one of the fire truck guys lost their jacket. Should stop, pick it up, put it at the fire hall for them. But you get what I'm getting at. Like it's you got to bring, if you play it, they will come. But no, very good reception tonight. Everybody, good song choices tonight. Not too hyper, but lively enough that. guy sleeping, or is he? Well, you got a trucker on the side of the road. I guess he's called it a night. Sleep well, my brother. Thanks for doing all the hard work you do. Yeah, so 2 o'clock in the morning, the only people on the road are musicians and truckers and drunks. That's and deer. Yeah, that's all that's on the road. But yeah, what a fantastic night. I mean, I just couldn't stop smiling. You got a little kitty cat, don't you go on the road, I'll smash you. I break for nobody. He was thinking about it. He didn't do it though. But yeah, all kidding aside. Oh, there's something crossing the road there. What's that? A raccoon or a kitty cat? I'm in a bit of a pinball alley here, so I'll watch my speed. This is like the worst spot for deer jumping out. But yeah, if I can get up enough gigs to make enough money to finance a nice 12-string guitar, that'd be great. But before the 12-string guitar, I got to get at least a 1,000-watt PA system. If you haven't checked 1,000-watt PA systems, they're a little bit on the pricey side. By pricey side, they're hugely expensive, but four giant JBLs, 1,000-watt system. I mean, you could play at a volume that fills the bar without having to break everybody's eardrums. Although I took a direct feedback hit tonight. Oh man, that one hurt. That one hurt. Oh yeah, that one got me good. It was like, I was sitting sideways to it. I was like, oh my god, that literally hurt my fillings. I don't have any fillings. But I'm kidding. But yeah, no, it's like if you got the system to play, that's a good idea, because when you have a system that you can play, you can open up more places and make potential more money. So I know you got to do a lot of playing. Like for example, that guy tonight, Greg, the normal sound man. He'd already played a 3-hour gig tonight. So I want to be like a guy like that, where I play a 3-hour gig and then I go somewhere else and I make a little bit more money. So in other words, you play 9 hours in one day, 2 days a week, and you make a month's worth of income. You know what I mean? That would be very cool. But even if you played 3 days a week, that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. If you're just a guitar player and you don't have to sing, no problem. But if you have to play for 3 hours and sing, you're doing that 3 days a week. That's a lot. I can respect the people that, when you see these bands that play 4 nights a week, I know what that's like from years ago. I was never the singer, but I remember my singer, she used to get like so hoarse like the day after, the guys, I need to take a break. We're like, well, why? I mean, we're good to go. My fingers, the calluses on my fingers are a little bit sore, but I'm good to go. We don't respect that, how much effort goes into that. And, when you get a situation where people, they have to play and sing to make ends meet and hustle for the gig, it's really hard. It's not easy to make it as a musician. Like that old guy, that 80-year-old man there, Ken was saying tonight, him and I, we shoot the shit about hunting and fishing and stuff like that. He's an old-time farmer, right? But even, like you were saying, he did a poem tonight. I'm going to have to get some of his poems, but talking about how, things don't happen overnight. So he goes, all you young people here, all you musicians, things don't happen overnight. Stick to it, you know what I mean? And I know. I mean, it's probably going to take me 6 months just to be able to play on a regular basis to make a little bit of money, let alone, say, my new professional job as a musician. That's really hard to do. That's really hard to do, especially on like no budget with very limited equipment right now. But that said, I might bring out the electric one night just to see how that goes over. Maybe pull a few Thorogood songs out, whatever, liven up the night. But electrics are hard to do as a solo instrument. Really, they're really hard to do as a solo instrument, because the electric is pretty high energy. It's high impedance, right? You're really, the drive, you can't mellow it out enough to really get away with it like you would an acoustic. But it'd be nice to do that as well. But anyway, the good news is that, yeah, I got the show. I got the gig. Just the question is, when's the gig going to be? We didn't work out the details tonight. Poor lady was probably really tired. Needed to get off her feet after working in the kitchen and stuff like that. Running the bar, whatever. Yeah, okay, I can respect that. We'll set things up via email, but you never know. Maybe great fog. You never know. Maybe what'll happen is somebody will cancel out maybe in a week or so. Hey, Reg, can you fill in for this guy? He can't make it. Things happen. Cars break down, whatever it is. So I got to kind of be on that, ready to go kind of mode. Maybe what I need to do is invest in an extra $20 in gas. Make sure that I'm always topped up. But I told her, as long as I know, a night or so before, I could swing it, Good news, I will be working Friday. I'm kind of a bit panicked right now because I'm in that downside of the year from work where, I was working once or twice a week, just past the turn-in right now, for my boss, Peter, doing the farms, the micro farm stuff. He's going to be putting in some raised beds, so he's trying to find me projects to keep me, right? So the thing is if I can work one night, one full 6-hour day, well, that's if you call that a full day, but 1 6-hour day for him a week, I can survive. It's tight, but I can make do with it because that's $120 a day. If I get an 8-hour day out of him, that's $160. For me, I can make that go pretty far. I still got to cover my my life expenses and stuff like that. And then, of course, if YouTube could actually rebound a bit, that would be great. But if it doesn't rebound, YouTube is not getting better for me; it's getting worse. Again, with all the algorithms and stuff like that. So I have to go with the plan of phasing my YouTube. I am a professional YouTuber on my other channel, which is all politics, which might not be for some people. I tend to be more on the right, so for some people they might not like that. I don't use my night for political, the jam nights for political stuff at all. I'm there to escape, whatever. But yeah, that's being taken away from me, slowly but surely. It's like the slowest layoff in history. You know what I mean? So if that keeps getting worse, well, something has to fill that void. So right now, technically, you could say I've got 3 jobs, so I'm about to become a professional musician again. Only this time, I'm going to make a real go. I'm not getting any younger. Like I was saying tonight when I did the coming of age song, I said I'm basically 3 teenagers old. I'm back when you were 15, I'm 3 teenagers old now, but basically, it's in 5 years, I'm going to be 50 years old. You know what I mean? When do you start it? You don't put these things off to later. I do kick myself a little bit for not trying a little bit harder as a musician. But it's always been an on and off thing for me, and it's kind of one of those strange things where you can pick up right where you left off, and it's still new to you. You know what I mean? It just never seems to get old. That's what I love about it so much. Home sweet home. Getting there. My cats and dogs are going to be so angry with me. Where have you been all night? You've been out late. You didn't give us treats before you left. So I got to do some appeasing to the final crowd tonight. My 2 cats and dog. But I got to tell you, tonight was a phenomenal night. I can't wait for next week. And guys, if I can make a go of this, even as a half-assed hack musician, I'd be happy with that. You know what I mean? But if I can take it a little bit further, I will. But the thing about musicians is it's an all or none thing. It's kind of like you can't really have a regular job and be a musician and be a professional musician. And I'm not looking to tour across the world or whatever. What I'm more looking for is just playing, like a 10-week circuit, within less than 250-mile range. Like, okay, well, I'm playing here 2 nights, and then I'll play there 2 nights, and then I'll play there 2 nights. My ideal would be to play a really high-paying gig 1 night a month. But, I mean, that's, I guess, what everybody wants. But, that's not how it works. That's just not how it works. It's not one of those things that, it's not easy. It's not easy. Like, the playing part is the easy part. The hard part is making a living at it. It's just not easy in that sense. It's not going to be something that, don't hit my brother's car. It's just not going to be something that, you get super, super lucky at right away. It doesn't typically happen for most people. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. It's been a great night. I'm going to shut my vehicle down now, turn everything off. What else can I say than what a phenomenal night. What great talent. What the fun. Guys, this is just something that's so therapeutic for me. I love it so much. Meeting the people, I think, is something that I like the 15 minutes off stage, but I love talking to people after too. So that's one cool thing about jam nights is that it is a very social event, and you got to get out and live a little too. Just got to get out and live a little too. It just is what it is. We'll see what next week holds. I think next week's going to be pretty fun. Don't know what song is going to play next week. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, be true to yourselves. Be true to others. Always, always do the right thing. Have yourselves a great night, eh?